Welcome traders, my name is Adam Harris from Trade with Precision, and this is your IC Markets market commentary. So I'd like to shine a spotlight on a few things. I want to pick up where I left off in the last video and actually talk to you about how stuff is unfolding, because sometimes we have to wait several days or possibly even a week or more for setups to occur. So first of all, let's have a look at gold. Gold is in a downtrend on the weekly. If we look at it from a monthly perspective, generally it is flowing to the upside, but it's clearly battling with these levels. And at some point, it's not unreasonable to assume that it will break its way through. But that could take another year, it could take another month. We're not really sure about that. We also know that these levels here are potentially act as support. So if at some point it's going to break it on the future, it's likely to produce a higher low. So one of the things I'm looking for here is to see if gold can turn around in this area, and just highlighting that currently, and it's very early days, there's a possible bullish candle that's trying to find support at this area close to the 1900 level. And if this is the case, we could find that gold double bottoms here and starts to work its way to the upside. So that's really what I'm looking for here. We've got a downtrend on the daily. Got a little bit of bullish divergence, meaning the MACD started a little bit bullish here, but I'm looking for price to either continue up. Now, however, if it breaks this low, then the probability of it continuing down to the next level down is very high, if not as close to guaranteed as can happen in these situations. Nothing is a sure thing, but that becomes a very high probability. At the moment, I'm looking to see this in a downtrend. I'm looking to see if this can potentially even form a double bottom, even going down to the 4-hourly. It is desperately trying to turn around. All of this is very, very bullish. We've got bullish divergence on the indicators. It's really trying to break through this. It's got to get above this 50-period moving average and start to break above these highs. Then it will pick up momentum and buyers will start to jump in and it'll push its way up. So that's really what I'm watching for at the moment. Over here, I'm more bullish than bearish. Even though it is in a downtrend, I'm looking for signs that it's going to turn around. This is where it gets really cool, really interesting. This is the S&P 500 on the weekly. We've currently got a nice bullish candle forming in this area off a level of support. It is not that, it's also a daily downtrend, and again, I'm looking for those changes to happen. The 4-hourly is also starting to break these previous highs up here, especially if we start to break, say, through these. Then it becomes the likelihood that we're going to start to turn around here and finish with a bullish weekly candle. If we do finish this week with a bullish weekly candle, and then next week break the high of it, the probabilities that we're going to resume the uptrend become as good as they can be. As I said, nothing is guaranteed, but that is how it tends to unfold if that is what it's going to do. So that looks really good. If I move across and have a look at the NASDAQ is doing it as well. It's been very bullish. It's had a shallow retracement. It's producing a bullish inside candle currently. And again, we've got a lot happening in the news this week. If we break the high of last week's candle, or we finish with a nice bullish green candle and then break the high of it next week, the probabilities are the market is going to attempt to resume that trend to the upside. On the other hand, should we finish this week with a very bearish candle, then the probabilities are that the correction is not finished yet, and we're likely to see it move down to the next few levels. But it is looking good. It is certainly what I can say is that the buyers are coming in now. The question is, will they succeed in turning around? We're going to have to see. This is a solid level for the FTSE. It's attempting to produce a bullish candle similar to this, and if it can do that, and the higher up it can close, the stronger the rejection of these levels. Having a look at it from a daily perspective, you can see here we've got a little bit of bullish divergence on the MACD between these two lows. It's a lower low, but it's a little bit more bullish here. We need to see this push higher. So this is one of those interesting situations where the markets would, although we have a downtrend on the daily, and traditionally that means we should be bearish, we are at a key level where reversal might occur within a bull market. So we are in a bull market, so the question is, are we going to get a reversal at this level or not? Looking again here at the DAX, this is the German one. You can see it's also coming down, currently producing a bullish candle. So we're getting bullish candles pretty much across the board. We need the week to finish bullish, and if it really does, the next week we break the high, the momentum starts to become more and more bullish. Again, we're looking at the ASX in Australia here. It's in a very choppy area, but also trying to form a bit of a bullish candle. Again, we're almost midway through the week, so we'll have to see how it ultimately closes out. Bitcoin, moving on to crypto. So that's my plan for that, is waiting for these to confirm and finish high by the rest of the week. I'm not going to mess around in those markets until they close high. And then next week, I'll be looking for bullish setups, trend continuation to the upside on the global indices. Now, look at Bitcoin. It's also possible then that when the tech stocks get a boost, we'll see cryptos start to get a bit of a boost. You can see currently Bitcoin is range bound and possibly trying to find support where it is. It's had a strong rejection of the lows here. I'd like to see it reverse that, start to come back up. Again, once it starts to break above these lows here and back up towards these highs here, the probability is that it's likely to continue higher. It's range bound for the moment. It's not great trading anyway. So it's really just one of those to stand by and look and watch, or sort of sit on your hands and watch. Okay, now we look at Tesla. So Tesla, I spoke about this in the last video. It's sitting between lower highs and higher lows, and the question is, what is it going to do? It appears to have come back down, possibly into these previous highs down here, and possibly found support off this market structure. So again, a bullish weekly candle here, especially if we close higher than the previous week's high, starts to signal bullish intent. We've got the MACD is trending higher, RSI is trending higher. These are bullish. There's lots of bullish signals here, and so therefore it's not unreasonable to expect this to do this. It's a good place for it to do it. It's roughly within the trend line area. It's on this side of the trend line, and then it'll see, and we'll have to see how well it does when it breaks through that. So that looks good. The surprise one for me, not really a surprise. Nvidia is very, very bullish. People have not waited very long for it to correct. I would really have preferred for it to correct a little bit further down into these highs here, or possibly even a little bit further, but at the very least down towards 350, 340. It's very overextended, and it hasn't, in my mind, had a very strong correction, and therefore I'm concerned about this. But nevertheless, it's also a sign of bullishness, ladies and gentlemen. Then we move on to some of the currency pairs. So Kiwi dollar currently is in a downtrend. Again, I'm looking to see if this is going to turn around. I'll be looking for these to head up a little bit higher potentially this between now and the next video potentially, which might provide day traders with some buying opportunities. Keep an eye on these major levels, but that is what it is attempting to do, is to turn around. Dollar yen, overall, we had that correction and a nice bullish candle. I'm looking to see if it can continue onwards through these levels of resistance. Euro yen, same thing again. We've had that very strong bullish engulfing candle. So you can see that waiting for price to come back to these levels, it's been very quick to take off. Here again as well, pound yen, very bullish, very much wanting to continue on from the last video. Swiss yen as well, same thing. We just had a very, very big move. It's quite interesting to go see it. We could see which day it happened on, and just very strong bullish, ultimately bullish daily candle. Okay, so for the most part, I'm expecting these to hit higher. They're still on my watch list for day trading purposes. I'll just keep an eye on these, any resistance levels that they're nearby. And then finally, finally look at crude oils. I wonder if we have a bit of a head and shoulders forming here. If we look at it from a weekly perspective, we are still range bound within this area. You can see it's battling with resistance here. It's possibly looking to break a little bit lower, come back down towards the 75 level, down towards here. That's a possibility. And in line with that is why I'm looking to see if there's a bit of a head and shoulders pattern forming out. We've got a nice bearish candle. We're sitting below the moving averages. There could be a possibility here that if we break below this neckline, that we could find ourselves heading back down towards the 70, let's call it 75, 74.60, back down towards this level. Let's sharpen that up a little bit, back down towards here, which could provide a temporary shorter term opportunity for anyone who's bearish on crude oil. So that's it. So there's some possibilities of moves happening across the markets. The yen pairs are still very much in play. The Aussie and Kiwi pairs are still nice and are slowing down. They're not as weak as they used to be. And we're seeing some real potential moves that could be setting up on those global indices. So hopefully you found this instructive, and there's some good stuff to watch out for. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.